peep this, Wom. I'm going to say peep this word of mouth. I got the John Day to my left, Micaiah to my right. They got some things to speak about. But me, I'm wise guy, and I'm a smart ass. I don't know about y'all guys, but let's start this class.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Talking about it. Yeah, we trying something different. See how we do.
Why not?
You know, see
Get some
how
different
little
intros.
Freestyle.
Little different intros.
A little bit.
From time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How y'all doing since our
man.
last episode? Y'all had some fun talking about your sexual green lights and red lights?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait for part 2, most definitely.
Yeah.
Just like Simping or Pimping.
Oh, simping and pimping. That's going to be back.
I like that.
You like simping and
Great.
pimping.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I like simping and
Yeah.
pimping. So how was y'all week, gentlemen?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. Can't complain, yo.
This was like the,
Happy to be here.
Got some new music coming out.
what you
real
got?
soon. Real soon.
Can we get a few bars, like at least 4 bars or something? Can we get a quick spit?
Nah.
He said no. He said no.
He's like, I'm not shedding anything.
He said, I don't rap for free no more.
You wait till it comes
Nah,
out.
yeah.
But that's fine.
got
We got
some
something from him.
collabs.
We can hear from him.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't you got some bars?
I don't know the bars.
Oh,
I don't know the bars.
disappointments all around.
Don't you have one coming out soon, too?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Gotta
we-
let you go.
Oh, wow.
I can't
hold
sing
on.
though, but I'm
He said,
trying though.
Yeah,
He
sung
told me
the-
I can never sing. So.
I ain't say that.
It hurt my feelings, but you know he'll tell you the truth.
I will
That's
tell
what
you
I
that.
appreciate about him.
I will tell you, you can't sing.
Yeah.
If you can't sing,
If you can't sing, exactly.
I can't sing anymore.
So that's dope. So
Mhm.
let's get into the quotes.
Let's get into it.
What you got?
We're going
for us?
straight into the quote. Okay.
Straight
Give it
into
to
the
us. Give it to us, buddy.
All right. Be not afraid of going slowly, but standing still. The Chinese proverb. It's pretty, straightforward, straight to the point. And I think what it allows us to deal with is that with everything that you deal with in everyday life, always try to put yourself forth in constant motion. Nothing is ever staying stagnant. Everything is always changing. No matter how small the baby steps may be, keep pushing and pressing forward, pretty much for the most part.
Do you think that some people may take that the wrong way and think that they constantly have to be making progress with all the hustle culture that we have nowadays?
That is a good point. That is
Not that it's a bad quote.
No.
But like, do you think some
But
people like?
they may take it the wrong way too, and I think that's why I also like it, because it's not putting a huge emphasis that you need to make these huge, major, grandiose type moves, but as long as you're moving. And it's funny, this guy that I follow on social media, his name is Justin Blue, and he made a really good perspective and point to me, and he was like, "Oh, listen, the person who's not moving at all, the person who's doing this, the person who may be lazy, the person who may be just only working a 9 to 5, everything is on a path, no matter what. It's always gonna bring forth consequences, whether good or bad, but." I think for this, it's saying, take your time and do what you can as best as you can with what God has given you.
What do you think? Like, what do you think are some of the things that stop us from being able to take our time nowadays? Because I know everybody's impatient in their own way, but like nowadays, I feel like everybody is really about this instant gratification.
Because of social media, because of
Comparison.
people see other people's fake lives and think it's real.
Absolutely, that's
and
true. I
think
didn't
we
think
want
of that.
this and obtaining it, and we tell people, "Oh, we got this. I got this new car." You just taking a picture and they're a rental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it makes you say, "Damn, I want that. I want to be like this." Instead of going at your pace, you try to do things at paces that are unrealistic. You can't obtain.
Isn't it crazy even going off of that, right? What's his, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Andrew Bourdain?
Anthony
Yeah.
Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain, the guy who was the, traveling
No
and stuff, and he
reservations.
tasted food. And he was also, I think, a black belt or some kind
I
of
think
a
he's
belt
in
in Brazilian
doing
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
Mhm.
I believe
This
I
guy
heard.
offed himself. And it's like,
Wow.
perspective, really, because a lot of people, I hate to use a tired out conversation, like the grass is green on the other side, but a lot of people don't even know what people are going through, or
Right.
they create this facade. Even like the recent guy, what's his name?
The one that was dancing.
Yeah, I
And the
think he was on
DJ.
Ellen DeGeneres
DJ.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, so
Mm-hmm.
that's my thoughts on
You
it.
know, I would say this. I also appreciate that quote because when you're having sex, you don't want to
Yes.
stand still. You can go a little slow.
Yeah, go a little slow. Oh, you know what's perfect for this? That camera scene from was a Rush Hour to a Rush Hour. Slow down, baby.
Slow down, baby.
Let's steer a little bit on that course. I have a question then.
Slow and steady wins the race,
Yeah, right?
baby.
Dang, you almost left him hanging, son.
Yeah, he was like, I remember last episode.
I know.
Fuck yeah.
This guy. My question then is, does this also apply to sex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't stand still
No, I'm saying like,
Still.
unless you're laying down. And she can't stand
have
still.
you guys ever had like super slow sex then?
I call it the lazy log. You ever did it?
Lazy dog.
Yeah.
The lazy log, you put it in there, and then if you move, It just
If you
it's
move,
like the
you
lazy
move.
river. You're like, oh yeah.
Where you learning these words from?
Never did the lazy river?
No.
You've been on the lazy river though, right?
Let the audience hear more of those sound effects.
Yeah, this weird.
No,
Not weird. Not just like I know. Like where's it
that's
going
cool.
from?
But the lazy river is basically it's the same thing. When you go in that little the little thing on you hold on to the whatever it's called, right? And
That was a
and
great description.
I don't know. I can't. What is it called? Those rides. You know, it's a lazy river. You sit on
A rowboat?
what is it called?
Damn,
Those
I don't know.
circular things. Oh man.
I don't even know the word to it.
Like it's almost like a buoy. I don't know what to call it.
Like a raft kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
but you
something
hold
like that.
on
Yeah.
and you go around and it goes very slow. So the same thing. It's lazy log. You put it in, you might juke a little bit.
Slow joke.
Oh yeah.
Slow just.
One time for the tatari.
Slow down, baby. Slow down.
Got too much.
But off on that note, please hit the like button or the dislike if you don't like it. Yo, fight me in the comments.
Nah, only likes over here. Only likes.
Only likes?
I take dislikes.
I take dislikes. I take likes. I take it all.
likes.
I'll take a comment.
Please comment if you don't like it. Let us know. Subscribe. You know the handle already. If you don't know by now, peep this one. PEPTHISWOM.
Oh, they can say that
Instagram?
fast. How you know you can say it that fast now?
I can speak pretty fast.
What else can you do with your tongue?
Oh, no.
Whoa, I wasn't asking for a visual.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You know what to do.
Cool.
Know what to do.
Let's get it moving.
Well, hold up. Question for you guys.
What's up? Go ahead. Shoot away. Be quick.
Let the
We're
viewers
slow
need to
and
know
steady.
what's good with a fishing.
Oh yes, efficient.
Like you're like it's like an episode. Like
Hey, listen.
I wanted to think
Right?
that he's just like like we got rid of him or something.
Nah,
He's dealing
fishing's on vacation.
Mhm.
You know, he's with his girl and his children, and you know, he's making the big bucks.
Mm,
He's politicking.
that is true.
You know, he's doing what he got to do.
He's venting doctoring,
Exactly.
He'll be here next episode
Definitely for sure.
for sure.
and if he isn't, we'll kidnap him and bring him here so that he can tell y'all his great sex stories.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Red light, green light.
1,
1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, Jinx.
Yeah, he
Blue
got
fish, green. No.
red fish, blue fish.
Knick-knack, patty whack. No, okay. Let's go.
So,
But yeah, let's-
speaking of all these stuff, again, so much things is going on in this world.
Mm.
every
Hit
day.
us with today's social media topic.
Birdman.
Birdman hand rub all day, baby. So
Put some respect on his name.
I don't know if you guys follow Academics. Shout out to Academics. Go watch his channel too. He's cool. He was talking about. No, this actually wasn't Academics, but anyway. So I was watching a video on social media of 21 Savage discussing. I think it was Academics podcast actually, or either Math Alpha. Anyways, he was talking with somebody and he was discussing about what we expect rappers to rap about. Now, I'm a rapper myself. I can talk about a whole bunch of different things. A lot of rappers, unfortunately, feel like they have to talk about only gangster nonsense, gangster stuff, shooting, what's up?
No, quick interjection. Are you a rapper?
Yeah,
Or are you an artist?
I'm both. I can be both. Sometimes I just rap, like I did earlier. I wasn't
Okay.
trying to make no art about it. just,
Okay.
just rapping.
All right.
But his topic was that, like, what do you expect people to rap about? They only know drugs. They only know things in the hood. They only know gang
Black
banging.
people stuff.
Yeah, black people stuff,
On the,
apparently.
on the dysfunctional side. That's all I'm saying.
And that's...
Damn.
It's
I had
an
to correct myself real quick.
it's an argument that's been brought up a lot of times. It's like people talk about like, oh, we're reporting what's going on in the streets. We're talking about what's going on in our neighborhood. Like there ain't a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But I wanted to share this with you guys, and I wanted to get everybody's opinions in the comments from these two as well. And then let's get the discussion started. So Arthur, 21 Savage, if you will.
21.
You want these young niggas to rap about? You want them to rap about going to college? Nigga, they ain't been to college. You want them to rap about stocks or black power? Nigga, when they walk up and walk out their door, they don't see black power, nigga. They don't see togetherness. That ain't what we see on the day-to-day. You get what I'm saying? So you can't expect a nigga to preach that type of shit if that's not what they see.
Now, I'll preface this by saying I like 21 Savage. I like him. I like his raps. I like his music. He's nice to
I
me.
like 21 Savage.
Me too.
I like 21. You know,
He's definitely grown on me.
Absolutely. The problem that I have with this way of thinking is that if you're a rapper, if you are anybody that creates music or words, or you're a wordsmith of any kind, I think that's really limiting you because you have 1,000,001 things to rap about in the world. But if you literally limit it to anything, to only the things that you see outside your door, you're doing yourself and everybody a disservice.
Well, I think maybe he wasn't really too careful with his words, but I think maybe he's more so thinking in the realm of gangster rap. Because I don't know the full context of this this interview, so I'm thinking maybe he's thinking in the context in his mindset gangster rap.
If I can,
which makes logical sense.
I think the argument being made to him here is when people talk to gangster rappers, whoever is talking about like, well, why don't you rap about this and why can't you rap about that? And this is his rebuttal, which is fair. Don't get me wrong. You know, I don't think that somebody has the right to necessarily tell you how to art. Nobody's going to come in here and tell me how to make my fucking music. I'll say that right now. I'll make whatever I feel, whatever I see, whatever I want to express. But that also means that I'm drawing from all different types of locations, inspirations. I've made songs that have nothing to do with me and are all from the perspective of somebody that I saw in a video talk about something. And I was like, that'd be a cool topic.
But that's different, though. It's you're looking at it with cultured lens. You see what I'm saying? How would you explain yellow to a blind person that never seen yellow?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you never traveled or you never been outside this country, how are you going to be? Like, for me, people would say, Ken, KTM, Micaiah, whatever you want to, right? The list goes on of the names they call me, right? You only do mostly love songs and breakup songs. I experienced a lot of that stuff.
That's what you know.
I know a lot about that. I know it well. And yes, I can expand. I went to college. I can expand my mind and stuff. But if these are things that I could relate to, and I want to pour my heart into these things, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do. Can I talk about gangster stuff? Yes, I've been in there. I've been in those streets. Can I talk about being to Paris? Yes. But is that what I'm going to rap about? You're going to rap about what you've been around. What you've seen.
I have to challenge you because the same way that we can talk to people and say, go do your research, the same way we can talk about you have the phone, you have the world at your fingertips, and you can go learn about something.
But why would you, with an expressive art like this, why would you want to go do research to talk about certain things that, if it's
not
selling,
necessarily...
I think I support his idea too, because I think...
Well, you're also biased because you're an artist as well.
Yeah.
We're both biased.
Well, I think... I'm thinking of it more so from the mindset of an artist, not more so a rapper. Like, I feel like, and even rap within itself, hip hop is a very artistic and expressive thing where you can be creative to the fullest extent. Like, look at Kanye West's Dark Twisted Fantasy, things of that. Like, you don't necessarily have to be talking about like guns and drug addiction and all these other different things.
But Kanye is not from that.
I know he's not from that.
Why would you want him to express that?
I'm going to challenge that because most of the people that do that type of rap aren't from that either.
They see it, though. I'm telling you, if I hear and see things all the time, I'm just challenging guys. If I hear and see these things all the time, it's easier for me to rap about that. If I was watching Blues Clues all my life, it's easy for me to start using, and you can't find that blue pearl. You know, I could put those things in there. Can you expand your knowledge and mind? Yes. Will people do? No.
I'm not saying that you have to...
Is it wrong? No.
I'm not saying you actually have to, like when I say do your research or whatever, I'm talking about like when people use that as an expression to go educate yourself or go learn about something or even just go experience something else. Like there are so many things that happen in your life in a week span that you can make a song about that for you to just say that, you're basically saying that this is all I can do. You're not even challenging yourself. You don't want to do more.
Or it's all that I want to do.
Or all that you want to do.
And that's fine. You're the artist.
That's fine. But in a genre of music that is oversaturated by that type of thing, where you have people even from outside the culture coming in and doing that stuff and making money off of it, living fictitious lifestyle.
Culture vultures.
It's like, why would you want to drive in a lane that's congested with 100 cars?
Or if I see everyone making money off of this particular item,
Seems like they're making money at least.
right? Why not do the same thing? Right? At one point, we all was in Dogecoin. Why?
Yep.
Because everyone
You
started
saying you ain't in
thinking-
Dogecoin?
I'm
no
still
more?
I'm still in. I'm still in.
I got a whole
I'll
bunch.
wait.
That's what I'm talking
I'll wait.
about.
I got a whole bunch.
To the moon, baby.
To the moon.
To the moon, baby. My
Sorry
bad.
about
My bad.
that was me. That
To the
was
moon.
me.
That was me too.
But-
To the
but-
moon, baby.
But why I say
Hit that
this is
$1.
you're gonna
That's
do
all I need.
you're gonna do the same thing that is selling. So if this is
You're gonna do what's seen
selling,
as successful.
you're gonna sell it, right? And it's easier to talk about the constant thing than to say I'm gonna step out the power. When is the last time a Lupe Fiasco sold? Even Kendrick Lamar, I love him dearly. Did that album do as good as it was expected? It still was one of the best.
The Mr.
Yeah.
Raleigh
Yeah,
and
it was
stuff.
still
yeah,
one
it
of the
did
best,
good.
right?
They did good.
Right, it's still
And
one
they
of
got
the
a lot
best.
of nominations
And
too.
still
But
to this thing,
he's Kendrick and he's built up
how
that.
many people can follow that blueprint
He's
and be
built up
successful?
that?
He's built up that platform.
You see what I'm saying? Not everyone could follow the outside. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that when you do something or you see that this is an easy way for me to get on a drill beat and do this, is it the right way? No, but that's all you know. That's all you know.
Well, I will say this. That's actually I just thought of something now with Kendrick, right? His first initial stuff was like that hood stuff, right?
I haven't listened to Kendrick's.
Right? You never
oldest-
Before
not
Mad
his-
City?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
talking about Good Kid,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
first official freshman album,
Right.
Right, and then after that, he evolved. So couldn't that also be a case to say, like, listen, I thought he was gonna, when he first came out with Good Kid, Mad City, I thought that's all he was gonna talk about, and he has evolved over his career.
Jay-Z's another one that evolved.
and
But-
people who stayed with him in
the
his career too.
only caveat that I would say is that they had time, so of course they're going to evolve because once you've rapped about everything that you know about, then you have to rap about something else.
different.
Like you have to, or at least find a different way to rap about the same shit.
And it doesn't look enticing when you start getting to a 45, 60.
Trapping in the block.
Trapping and being on blocks. Like, why?
Nobody
Still
wants,
talking about that.
Yeah.
but everybody can be a tough guy because tough guys look cool. My thing is that you like for you to say that that's all they know, whatever. I'm like, that's bullshit because people be scrolling on social media. They got all these subscriptions on YouTube. They got all these things that they watch, all these things that they're distracted by throughout the day. You can't take 2 or 3 of those and make one fucking song
But why?
because it could be the hottest song you ever made.
But what if what they're making right now is the hottest song that they made?
It won't be the hottest song next day.
Well,
Hey, instant gratification. They made their money and did what they
Well,
had to do.
gonna be
that's where it
trapped.
comes from. I feel like they're gonna stay the course, steady and slow, right? Then opposed to take a chance and risk. Well, I'm gonna experiment like the Kanyes or like the Kendrick Lamars and people like that who are going to experiment with a different sound and stuff like that. So they feel comfortable in staying in that niche. That's what I feel like. But then 21 Savage is like he made it big. Like he's one of the
And
top.
he has made songs like
But he's still
Yeah.
rapping. I feel like
a lot,
mostly he doesn't.
right? Is it
He
a
has some
lot?
diversity. He has some
the one
diversity.
with J. Cole.
Yeah.
21 has some
Yeah,
diversity.
he has
I
some
feel like
diversity.
he does have some diversity.
Not much, but he got some.
Yeah.
And that's not hate. I'm
No,
just
no, 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 no.
thinking. I'm just thinking.
Why bother?
Why bother? Right,
would say-
just because we have
I would
access
say-
to Black History information, does a lot of people look it up? The Black
I would
diaspora?
say
no.
I would say bother because if you want to be better, if you want to be greater, if you want to be more, you have to do more. The best artists of any generation of all time always have a diverse catalog. Michael Jackson can go and make Billie Jean and then make Thriller and then make Pretty Young Thing and then also make They Don't Really Care About Us. He can make Remember the Time and then he can also make what is that something to Moscow.
Yeah, but that's not fair though.
That's a little
But I'm
different
talking.
though.
But I'm talking about.
That's not
I'm
fair,
talking about in the
because he
sake.
didn't even write a lot of those songs. Remember the Time.
Really?
R. Kelly.
Oh, we gonna get to him.
A few
we gonna
other
get to
songs.
him.
Oh, great interjection
A
right there.
few
gonna get to
other
him.
songs.
I did not know
I'm
that.
I know in the beginning he was writing with Quincy and stuff.
yeah.
Yes.
We
know that, but
we're-
you see, and then when you have an A&R in those days where they will help and try to shape an image for you and do these things, all right, and help build a character or career for you, that's much different than now I just get a mic, yo, I'm gonna start rapping, yo, Fred, put me on, yo, blah, 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 let's do this, Wise, let's get it. And I start rapping and then we could put it instantly on stream. There's no more shaping an artist. There's no more.
All right, then
this.
how about then
I can do it.
I'll get
I
an
can do
artist
it.
that's more close. I get an artist that's more close. Jadakiss can be on Money, Power, Respect in one part of his career, and then a few years later make Why.
Mhm.
Jadakiss is one of the most hardest rappers of all time.
But isn't
But-
Why, what's the lyrics and why?
Why the Bush knocked down the towers.
It's very political.
Yeah, political. It
That's
talks
how he
about a
felt.
lot
He
of
was talking
things.
about, but it's like you
Yeah.
can talk about various things. My thing is that I feel that the reason why I feel like one of the reasons why our culture, or one of the reasons why our music, why rap music doesn't evolve enough is because we've gotten so comfortable chasing what we think is successful, but then not even recognizing that the only reason why it's successful is because the game is rigged to make it successful for certain people. And then when they make it, you think that's how you're going to do it, but you don't know they have the house betting for them. They're not making it because they're the hottest gangster rapper or whoever, this and that. No, they have people either in the streets or people in the streets of the towers and the buildings pushing them.
So why don't we have more conscious rappers that make it big?
I'm not saying, well, conscious is a different story.
No, but no,
Conscious is a different story.
No, it's not. If that's
No,
what they
be-
want to rap
no, because-
about.
no,
So you're
because-
saying anything else beyond gangster rap would be deemed as conscious?
No,
rap?
I'm not saying that. What I'm just saying is, why don't we have more successful
conscious-
Why
because-
don't we have more successful backpack rappers? Why? Because
Because they don't cater to entertainment. They don't cater to entertainment in the same way that gangster rap does. Gangster rap is trying to do something to sell money and to be like other people, to be cool. Conscious rap is doing it to be, what's the word I want to use? Like to be, I'm smarter than you and I'm better than you and we need to do
that's
this.
not necessary. It's not necessary.
Come on, you don't
so-
think?
but
no,
the-
I disagree.
so-
You don't think that conscious rappers be on some like I'm better than everybody because I could lyrical miracle spiritual? You don't think?
Wow, you
Yeah,
just
but-
said spiritual.
But
That's
but
messed
that
up.
but that's
They do.
not but that's not necessarily conscious rap. Conscious rap is more that everyday real life
Mm-hmm.
talking about things, whether in your community,
Like-
politics, thing like Raspity
J.
is one of
Cole.
those things. J. Cole is one of those. Lupe
Lupe is probably one of the best ones to
when he
do it
was.
in a right way.
Right, you see what I'm saying? Kanye
Lupe does it
at
in the right way.
times would be considered a conscious rapper,
Mhm.
right? Kendrick at what he says.
Yeah,
It's
At
how he does it.
Soul. You see what I'm saying?
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just looking at it, even on what you call it. I hear DeJounte play this all the time from oh my gosh. He has like what's his name? He was under Kanye at one point.
Common?
No.
Consequence?
No.
What year?
I don't.
You
remember.
play it and he does rock and hip hop and all of that.
Kid
What's
Rock.
his
Oh,
name?
Kid Cudi.
Kid
Cudi.
Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
No, they're conscious. Why are they not as successful? Because people don't want to hear that
I disagree that they're
all
not.
the time.
Or maybe it's a different market.
It's a different. That's one.
Hey, but if it was an engine behind it, and we should be able to be like, yo, let's push.
Because
let's push
conscious
this,
rap
push
is
this.
a sect of the overall hip hop music consumption. It's not a large enough market to even be as successful.
So that's why I'm saying these type of things. If this is all I know, why am I gonna push the borders and try new things?
Because
No, I'm sorry.
even businesses themselves tell you that if you constantly stick with the same thing and you don't try to grow, somebody is going to outdo you eventually with some sort of innovation.
And that's why rap has a 2 to 3 year window span for most people. As soon as the next thing there, it hasn't really
like fast food.
evolved. It does change, right?
Face.
Change face
It changes colors.
and change the beats, right?
I would argue the beats change more than the content of music.
Mm-hmm.
But not saying that, like, my thing is that I still, listen, of course I want my gangster rap. Of course I want different ways to say the same thing. I'm just saying that it's a highly oversaturated thing. It's like,
Yeah.
you want to know why love songs don't go out of style? Because everybody's making a different type of, everybody's making the same content in a different way.
Correction, though. Let's add to that. R&B is considered
hmm
one of the most dying. I don't know why.
Dying
Because it's been
genres and
co-opted
music.
by hip hop.
Yeah, because R&B hasn't had that mainstream since what they say. What is it?
The 90s.
We're talking
early
like the
2000s.
90s era.
The 2010s, I give it.
2014, 20, and then it started to calm down. What we get now is a sense of more R and hop. Like it's a mixture infused with
Or R and pop.
yeah, they're
It's one or the
singing
other.
with rap kind of beats, or or they're drilling with singing,
Mhm.
or they're bringing a different feel. So even with R&B, like you see what I mean, like look at Mariah compared to, I can't tell you a next big modern, what we will say in today's frame that would be of their time.
There are
Beyonce, would you say? But Beyonce,
she's too far out
I
there
don't
out
know.
the
So
spectrum.
I don't know.
But
But you see what I'm saying?
But with R&B, it's not that there aren't good R&B artists. There's tons of
I'm
them.
not saying that. No,
I know.
I'm not saying.
But it's just
I
that
love R&B.
it's just that
You gotta
the
search for them. I feel like
the music music marketers aren't trying to put that out there because they think that the rappers are the ones that everybody's trying to beat, the ones that everybody's listening to. It's the most easily consumable and digestible because everybody's trying to have fun. But that doesn't make it the most long lasting and the most full of content. And I'd also argue that most rappers nowadays, I mean, you could probably even throw me in there, are being carried by the beat. Am I wrong with?
no, you're definitely not wrong with that because people are not really like listening, at least consciously.
And that's another argument against me. It's like, why bother rapping or trying to rap about anything worthwhile or say anything worthwhile when nobody's even trying to listen to what you're saying?
True.
You know, but if you choose this lifestyle, not everybody, listen, even I don't want to be the best fucking rapper. I don't care about being the best fucking rapper. But you at least want to push your pen and try to make something that people can connect with. Because, like 50 Cent said all those years ago, if you ain't want people to hear that shit, then you should have kept that shit in your fucking headphones in the basement. But when you want people to hear it, you want them to connect with what you're saying and what you feel. And if I'm saying the same thing as the last 10 people in this room, what the fuck am I saying?
I'm connecting with all 10 then.
No, you're not.
If I'm from that. Yeah.
Why would you listen to me over the next hottest person that sounds
Well,
better?
if they're hot, I'm not going to listen to you.
Most aren't.
Right? And that's why the music game is oversaturated. But back to what they're saying, he's saying 21, because that is the academics one.
That is that.
You-
That's awesome.
yeah. You are only going to rap about what you know or see. Right? Or your man's life. Or your
But we
friend's
all
life.
lie. So why
Yeah.
can't you just make up some shit? We all lie. Why can't you just make up some shit?
And you rather make up some things that's more relatable to what you see than thing there.
That's a boring ass lie.
I don't see too many people, gonna stretch their pen in that way, right? As you get more into the game, and then you start seeing, okay, there's more to life because you have now money, you can do
Exactly.
things.
You experience things.
Then you start falling off because you lose your
You
edge.
see people like 21 will come out with that song with J. Cole. You'll see them. He can make a good album with a Drake. I would have never thought of that before.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you not?
I would have saw a song
I
or
saw,
two.
I saw
I can
the
see it.
potential because
Yeah.
he did a great album with Future.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
saw
just
the high
saying,
potential
like,
for that.
I didn't see the two actually
great
coming for the
collaborators.
whole album. You know what I mean? So that was dope.
He said they made that in 6 weeks.
See what I'm saying?
Not bad.
I saw some of that interview.
So I'm just looking at it as you're not gonna go past what you.
So then I'll ask you,
Mm.
because you are a rapper. You're probably the best rapper that I know personally. Do you think that what he's saying is good? Or do you think that what he's saying is correct?
I think
For
so.
you.
I think so. You're not gonna rap more than what you see, and you experience, or you see other people experience. You take on other people's personas. You take on other things. You're not gonna go like me. Do I rap about other stuff? I do. How much do I rap more about than I do with others? And you would say, well, Ken, you're cultured. You see this. You've been here. You've done that. Why isn't it that I'm not fan to go and write the most like
Lyrical, spiritual.
yeah. I'm not going super conscious. Yeah, you would have the wages of war, or we do this, or we do that. But what am I going back to when I'm in a mood? Going
Love
back
songs.
to the love songs. Going back to the R&B. When I really feel like I want to spit some and talk that, I might occasionally. And isn't that what they do too?
You don't think you're gonna sound boring?
No, because after a while, if you gather enough people that like you, it don't really matter. Once you are still at your pinnacle, your peak, they're gonna listen to you.
Fair enough.
Right now, Kid Cudi ain't doing nothing much
The
to
only
people, but he still has his core.
yeah.
People are gonna check for him. People are gonna check for Lupe. Am I checking for Lupe?
I
No,
check for Lupe.
I'm not. He's not on my thing. Am I checking?
By the
for
way, did you go
Absol?
to that concert?
I couldn't.
Okay.
It was actually on a Wednesday. I thought it was on a Friday, but it was on a Wednesday.
okay.
Disappointed me.
Yeah, man. What about you? Let's wrap this one up, baby.
Hold up, before you go,
I
I do want to say this thing, given what you said.
yeah.
You are right, and McDonald's could sell nothing but French fries, and it would still sell out.
They'll sell.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
I think ideally I would like rappers to rap more than just about those kind of experiences, in all honesty, because I like to view it from an artist's perspective. But I'll be honest, like, that's what mostly they're going to do until they get their foot in the door. And if you want to take those chances in your career to experiment, then by all means do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you know what you know, do it well enough, get your foot in the door, and then you can experiment, I feel like. So at least everyone's being honest and true to themselves, even though there are people who put on these false personas. You know, they're trying to sell an image.
If you were one of these artists, right? You know that there's a niche going on, and you can get your foot in the door. Would you try, or would you just stay as a starving artist?
I would do it. I would still do my stuff.
Yeah, eventually.
Maybe not
yeah.
to that extent. Like my stuff would be like 70, 20%, 30% of that.
Right. See, that's.
But
what
then
I'm
I
saying.
feel like if I get my rolling movement and then I have my core fan base, then like, all right,
Then you'll
cool.
step in and explore
I'll
more.
experiment more into what I like as my niche,
Right.
you know. And if
And
they
that's
rock
what-
with me, they rock with me.
And that's what Drake did.
Mm-hmm.
Future did the same thing. I didn't know until last year, October, he wrote Junk in Love.
Yep.
I found out. I just read about that 3 days ago, and he was
Would you have
upset.
thought Future would have wrote that song?
That
I
pen game.
would have
And he
never
wasn't,
thought.
and he was not credited for
Never
it
credited.
because he
And I
wasn't a
heard-
ghostwriter.
And I heard the reference of it. It's like, yo, this
'Cause he
joint's
made-
out fire.
With him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, bro? I'm sorry.
What was the question?
So,
Ask it
so
again.
Your thoughts on it?
your
Overall.
thoughts, and then the question I asked him. You're a starving artist.
Mhm.
Are you not gonna follow a niche, or you're just gonna keep doing it and be the starving artist?
For me, it'd be difficult because it's like I can write those types of things, but for me, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good coming out of my mouth. Like if I know that I'm putting on like this type of act, and it's known that I put on this type of act, then yeah, I'll say what the hell comes out of my mouth. What the fuck, you know? Shoot you and your mom too. You know, I'd have to find a way to do it my way.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Respect.
I
that.
see what you're saying.
Like if I'm gonna do that, is like I gotta either like I gotta find a way to either satirize it or do it in a version that works for me. Like instead of making a gangster trap, instead of making like a gangster rap track where it's like, you know, I'm gonna beat somebody up or go rob them, I could just make cut you off.
That's
Because then I can also relate with more people. Because not everybody's gonna go run down on somebody. You're gonna go run down on your boss.
Right.
But you could be like, fuck around with me, I'll cut you off. Like, fuck this, I quit. Fuck around me, I'll cut you off and walk out.
Right.
You know, but as you said, people will only make something with the tools that they have. And if they don't have the right tools, they can't think that far ahead.
Right.
Fair
Or
enough.
they don't want to.
Or they don't want to.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, you know, the choice of the beat is very important because, you know, most people, they just like zombies. They just like, oh, this joint's catchy. They listen to it. And sure enough, you know, it bypasses it
Background
again to the
music.
subconscious. The
Yeah.
words will stick.
Yeah, because some people ain't saying nothing.
Almost aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even
you
me
see-
sometimes, I just be
Yeah, same
word
here.
filler.
Same here.
Mhm. But yeah,
Yo.
that's how I feel. Shout out to 21 Savage. I still like him.
Yeah,
This
this
ain't a
is
knock
fire.
on him.
This
This ain't a
is
knock
not
on
a
him.
diss. This
This
not
ain't a
a
knock on
diss.
him. You know?
So,
What else we got?
keeping on this topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I find interesting? That a lot of times in today's generation, and even back then, there's a hard way we think. We're trained our mind to not separate the artist from the art, right? So my question is, can we still listen to R. Kelly? Right? If so, why or why not? Or can you separate the art from the artiste? Talk to me.
I looked into this a little bit and
Sound like you about to drop a bomb.
I was looking and I already had my thoughts, you know, preconceived beforehand, and I looked at, you know, stuff on Reddit, stuff on Quora, and overwhelmingly a lot of people do say it does not matter to them.
Really?
It doesn't matter to them. A lot of people say it does not matter to them. They could still bump a R. Kelly song. They could still bump an Aerosmith song. They could still bump all of these things. I feel like for me, the art is the art, right? What you have created. Now, if the art is perpetuating that ideology, then that's where I say, all right, you're stepping over the line now. Now, but if the art within itself is not tainted and doesn't have any of that, then I appreciate that work that you have crafted and left behind for your legacy. But you as a person, as an individual, just like, for example, someone could be like, well, I love the work that Michael Jordan has done and all these things, but as a person, do I like him?
Probably a jerk.
No.
Yeah,
Because I've heard countless things about him
Right.
too. He was a ruthless, cold-hearted guy.
investing in jails and all of that.
Cold-blooded.
I feel like you can separate the two. I can still listen to R. Kelly music. I have no problem, no issue with it. But like, if it becomes where it's like you're putting propaganda for those kind of behaviors, then no.
Then what's wrong with bump and
that's-
grind is, age ain't nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number.
So what if I told you now, right? There was some deviousness in the lyrics when you listen, and then you hear a story behind it. So let's say bump and grind. Bump and grind.
My mind's telling me no. That was right.
It's for Aaliyah, and she was only, I think, 15 or 16 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now you hearing that he wrote that, or he wrote Aaliyah's age ain't nothing
Number
but
the
a
number.
He wrote Remember the Time, and it was referring a 16-year-old girl. Now the lyrics don't say that. Now.
Yeah.
Lyrics don't say that, but when you hear why he wrote this, can you go, you were not alone in the same way?
I couldn't, because it's falling in that category. Right? It's falling in that category, and you have to, like, really navigate through it and proofread it and be like, like, you do a little bit of research deeper into it, and you're like, all right, well, the age ain't nothing but a number. Clearly, that's obvious.
But that's hard. Would you proofread? When is the last time you proofread some lyrics, nigga? No, I'm just thinking, because I'm not looking it up.
Most people don't.
I feel like, I'll be honest, no, but I feel like if the song really impacts me enough, like, I'll want to go look into, like, Rap Genius and stuff like that, or, like, try to decipher, because, music is our art, too, and, there's more meanings, ambiguous meanings to things. So I was saying, however the style it was written, then I want to look more deeper into it. But, yeah, in that case, nah.
I'm going to tell you right now.
What about you? Would you still bump and listen to them joints?
Hold on.
Let's
get into the interrogation room.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, so
artists and art.
I'm gonna just give y'all a quick story. So in college, when I joined my fraternity, we had to put on a showcase, and since nobody can dance, I had to choreograph it. And one of the things that I did was make us Chippendales.
Like the ladies?
Yeah,
male strippers.
Okay.
Like the male strippers.
Male strippers. Oh, see, I didn't know that.
You heard of Chippendales?
No.
I
That's
just
what
saw a
I'm asking.
documentary
You
on it
got all this
recently.
sex stuff in your room. You heard of Chippendales?
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, educate
man.
yourself, bro. You missing out. Learn.
Too bad. Too busy in the black African and diaspora. Sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta learn.
You too busy listening to all that gangster rap. You need
Yo,
to
remember, I just found out what Cuckold was a couple months ago. He's the one that told me. I didn't know.
Snap. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you
I
did
ain't
tell
know,
him.
man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, like what happened is that I choreographed it, but we Chippendales, and I used the great lovemaking song of Bump and Grind.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best entertaining pieces I've ever come out with. I cannot remove myself from that song. Not even gonna lie. I can't. Because of what I've been able to create from that, and because of how great of a piece of work it was. It was very entertaining. You can watch it right now. If I put that on
Of you male stripping?
all of us. Like, we
I'm
did
not gonna
Chippendales
watch
outfit.
that though.
But it's amazing. It's amazing. So my point being is that the reason why some people can't remove themselves is because they have a personal connection to something. Like
It's probably hardwired and ingrained into like particular like pivotal memories that they had and moments in their life.
And even culture. I've said this numerous occasions. Michael Jackson's Thriller has a hold on the month of October. You cannot stop people from listening to that.
Do you think he did it? I'm sorry, man. You think he really did it?
Who?
Michael Jackson.
No.
I don't agree
I
either.
don't think so.
I don't think he did.
Do I think he has obscured and effed up behavior?
Of course.
Because
He's psychologically damaged.
nobody that's raised like that is
nothing
normal.
is normal. about
Nothing.
that.
Nobody that's
Yeah,
raised
I
in
Wanted
this
to
grown man
be
hanging
around
around
kids.
children.
Nothing is
If you're
normal
growing from
about it.
5 years old to all child stars have some sort of
Yeah, and
issues.
they
All child
usually
stars.
they tend to die, especially when they're that young child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so. But with that being said, it's like, because even when it first started happening, I'm like, I was like with you, it's like, but can the music can the music speak for itself? But then I always go back to the second episode of the Boondocks where Huey's talking about, everybody in a courtroom is all dancing to R. Kelly's new song, and he's like, this man has done this and this and this, and y'all gonna listen to him just because he could sing really well? And I'm like, and then is my question, is it just us and is it just our people that do that?
No. When I mean no is other races know that their stars did some effed up stuff. But they tend
They
to
tuck
protect.
it away.
Yeah, they tuck it way away.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Right? In this research that we're doing,
Mm-hmm.
he met Priscilla at
14
14
years old.
14 years old?
14. Moved her into his parents' house. Then he said he didn't sleep with her until she was 24.
That's cap.
I think that's super
That's
cap.
cap.
Now,
That's cap.
but hold up.
Put a
Even
cap
if
on it.
14?
But even if he didn't, even if he truly didn't, the optics of that are bad because you're an adult. You're physically an adult, and that's still physically a child. While they may be sexually ripe or sexually whatever, you can't do that because that's still a minor.
I have a lot of things to unpack.
What's up?
One being, I guess I don't know. I don't want to divert off, but don't you ever notice, like in like entertainment and like not only just music, but
They
like
sexualize
movies
young people.
and stuff like that? Like, why is this such a heavy theme? Because I looked up the
With
research.
minors or
Yeah, with minors and children and stuff like that.
Megan
Pedophilia
Fox
stuff.
and Terminator in
even Disney
Transformers.
because Snow White was 16
Oh,
years
yeah.
old.
No, Snow White was 14.
14.
Snow White
Sorry.
was 14.
Sorry.
Because
They're all teenagers, and even worse, Jasmine. With Jafar and Jasmine, when she kissed him, she's 15 years old. He's like a 30-something-year-old man with a beard and everything.
See, talk about it, bro.
Because I looked up this guy. He's a neuroscientist, Dr. Canton. He was on 60 seconds or less,
60
or
minutes?
60 minutes?
60 seconds.
I'm sorry.
That's how quick you come? That's how quick you come?
if it's good,
She got that wet.
But he pretty much said there's a certain I forgot which section of the brain. There's a cross wiring where like you're supposed to have that enabling of like that parent
Protector.
child protective connection, whereas like your erotic area it's more erotic. The response is erotic. But then it's like, how common is this? That's what I'm getting to think. How common is this? Because why is it that almost 8 or 9 times out of 10 we're hearing these stories at the forefront, like Corey Feldman, what's the other one?
Keep going. Mick Jagger,
Mick Jagger, David
Bob Dylan.
David Bowie.
Yep.
Who's that one?
Thaddy Newton,
Yep.
the actress.
Woody Allen, like he married his stepdaughter, his
That's where
adopted
he adopted
daughter,
her.
and then
Married her. Yo, that is freaking
and nobody talked.
weird
Didn't he
now.
also escape he left the United States too?
And now another thing that I wanted to piece in together, because I looked to say like how much percentage of like society or like people on the earth or like they fall into that category, and they were like about 5 or less than 5%, mostly men, because there's not a lot of documented
Women that do.
statistics on women that we know of.
Right.
But then I think about it, it's like how I feel like with all of these things, like how common it is, because if you look in history and time, it was normal.
It was normal.
Do you even
It was
know
normal.
even the history of the word mentor? Mentor. Like men, like there's a
Male
sinister,
tutelage.
there's a sinister thing to that.
From Greece, right?
yeah, from Greece.
they-
I
exactly.
didn't know about this. Wait, what?
Yeah, it would that originated and
You
stimulated
get a
from
young
Greece.
boy and you
Well, that I know about.
and
Yeah, you
tear
break
them,
him in,
break
yeah.
him in.
But the thing is, that's been such a norm that only in the last recent, I guess, 100 plus so more years, it's become something where it's like now they're putting a cap on it. Now they're putting laws. I'm like, that's kind of scary. Like This has always kind of been of a norm thing.
Well, I think it's because one, the life expectancy of humans in the past was a lot lower. You know, like even living to like freaking 40 or something was like, you know, old because you may die of like dysentery or illnesses or whatever the hell. So being like when you're a young like being freaking 16 years old is like you damn well might as well be an adult at that point back then. Second of all, humans have always been not fascinated. They've always been fixated on the sexual availability and ripeness of a woman. You know, so it's like the younger, the more fruitful, the more fertile, the better, because you got better children or whatever. And then third of all, women ain't have rights till like the last 100 or so years.
That is true.
Like, let's be real, you know.
They were deemed as property.
But to keep it with the, I guess, like to go back to the idea of stars or celebrities. Now I don't want to say stars because we shouldn't be using that word. They're celebrities. What is it with our fascination with them and letting them get away with this just because we see them as celebrities? You know, like even saying like before we go back to the argument of the art versus the artiste, why do we let them get away with that just because they're rich and famous? Like they don't do shit for us. They don't put money in my pocket. Like, okay, yeah, they make a song that make you feel good about something, but what's wrong with still holding somebody accountable? Like, why did it take so long for us as a community to hold R. Kelly accountable? How come nobody wanted to come after Harvey Weinstein for years, even knowing that he was doing that stuff?
For R. Kelly, and I'm sorry to the community, I'm going to say it. I feel like because so much things happen to our community, we try to hold people, like protect them with our thing, even if they're wrong.
Because of a lot of false accusations and everything.
Because they will get destroyed if the thing...
Another black predator.
Exactly.
But I look at these other ones and I'm just like, yo...
There's a lot of them.
I can't get over the Elvis because the man...
You can't be 23 and grabbing 14-year-olds.
The man stole
James
people's
Brown.
musics.
Black people's
styles.
music. Black people's music styles.
And made millions when they could barely make a couple pennies, right? Made millions sounding like them. And then we don't hold them to that kind of pristine accountability as we want to hold anybody in our thing. Like when Whitney Houston is doing drugs, oh my gosh, blah blah blah. Let's make her the top thing, right? When we have mental breakdowns, we're the top news. But when these people are doing their thing,
they need help. They're going to rehab.
Let's pray for them. Let's do this. We could separate the artists from the artists then, but when it comes to our community, it's hard. To the world, they don't want to separate it. Another thing, we got at Bill Cosby, but yet the man from Seventh Heaven is still around.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
But yeah, he can say, oh man, this man has issues.
Hold up, something.
We can separate, all right, celebrities.
I was gonna say, it was highly disturbing. I watched that interview. He was
you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
I saw it too.
He was like,
all he got to do was he had to apologize. He was good let off.
This young woman was like,
he went into some details, bro.
He described her.
He
described her as a young woman, and she is 10 years old. But then again, I looked into it a little bit more deeper. Like I love to read the comment section of this. And I learned something. I guess you could correct me on it, but the statute of limitations or something like that. They said that could be the reason why he wasn't like...
What about the statute of limitations on Bill Cosby?
What about
Cosby? And you know there was some people that was DTF.
And that's why they had to throw out the case, because some of the stuff later on they found out...
That's not saying he didn't do...
I'm not saying he didn't do it at all.
Yeah, he had to have done something at that point.
But bringing it back, though...
Before you go...
Go ahead. You want to say
There's one more that I wanted to bring up that just came into my mind.
Right ahead, bro.
Now, I love Eminem. I love Eminem's music. But now that you bring it up, like, if a black person made any of the stuff about killing your mom and said half of the stuff that Eminem said...
would be destroyed.
And he got a Grammy for it? Did he get a Grammy for that?
I said, I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you.
I love that song. I ain't gonna lie.
Like, but we don't... But yeah, continue. And I love him. I'm a fan. Stand by. I'm a fan. Just thought about it.
Privilege.
Yeah, it is.
Privilege.
Not that he doesn't acknowledge it, because Eminem does.
I think we need to seriously sit down as people who listens to music and say, which one is it? Are we going after, if we're not going to listen, take down Elvis, take down Bowie, take down all these people. If that's the way we go, I'm all for it.
Oh, for everybody.
I am all for it if you're going to do that. If you're going to say, yo, That was messed up. They're evil. They're sadistic. They're taking advantage of little kids. Then take them all down. But you can't even put up an R. Kelly song. But they can. We still got Elvis on Spotify.
That is true.
We still got all these other men. Bob Dylan is still on Spotify.
Oh, you telling me I can't pull up R. Kelly on Spotify? That's what
Like,
you're
so
telling me?
what happens
think
is
you
they
can.
you
You
can
can't.
put
You
it
won't
up.
see him on like playlists and stuff. I
Yeah,
think.
you can see them on playlists.
I'm not sure unless
And
it's
if they get
personal
caught,
playlist.
like, they pull it back down.
Oh.
So right now with R. Kelly on YouTube is only topic, meaning people have put it up and things there. But as far as a R. Kelly specific channel or
Took it down.
I forgot which company he's with, which record label, Universal.
I think it's Universal. It's probably
It might
Universal.
be. It's the biggest
There's
one.
or Sony. It
It's
could
something
be
that's
one of
that's
them.
under
Yeah.
Universal.
But it's one of those big ones. They took it down. You see what I'm saying? Where do we draw? If we're gonna go one way, let's go one way
So
across the board.
So then here I have a question for you. So Harvey Weinstein is known to be a very big, movie executive and, director and all those things. And I think Brett Ratner as well, they've even, helped create things such as Bad Boys, like the Rat Pack and whatnot. And there are many movies that they are tied to. And there are many people that know about their reputation. Oprah Winfrey,
Wait, Brett Ratner's a part of it?
Brett Ratner.
He's a part of it?
I think he has his own allegations. He's another one.
Oh, I didn't know.
Brett Ratner.
Thanks for
He's
educating.
another one. And Oprah Winfrey is on record for saying that Harvey Weinstein in parts in the past, like her friend and all this other stuff. On record saying that. That's your friend, right? But you can't be in this type of industry and not know that these things happen because he is a person in charge and people go to these parties and people get into some debaucherous things and do a whole bunch of immoral things. And you, in the entertainment industry, know that these things happen. So if you know he's a part of that and he goes to these places, you think he's just being there having wine and, doing business? My thing is, okay, we can hold them accountable, but what about the people that is with them? What about the people that give them the pass? Going back to R. Kelly, because I was watching a documentary, So Def, what's his name? He owns
Jermaine
Dupri is even in an interview. People were asking him when this is first happening, oh, I think he's okay. I think he didn't do it and this and that. They just want to try to take somebody down. They want to defend somebody, but you let that man do that thing and you didn't stand up for what's right because you were looking out for yourself.
You believe he knew?
I think a lot of people knew there was a sign, but nobody wanted to say anything because then you would be attacked
Hard.
within the black community at least.
Especially when you're probably one of the biggest artists of a certain time.
It's hard to hold black people accountable in the black community because black people want to let everything go since we never get away.
Because we don't get the benefit of the doubt any other time.
But we have to be
You have to be mindful.
we have to be moral and be mindful or just be honest. Like, listen, he was wrong and he did that, but that is some great music.
Right.
And let the art speak for itself. But you got to do that on your own. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do.
Yeah, certain songs, I'll be honest, I won't listen to
Really?
again so easily.
I don't know.
Now, if it plays, am I going to be like, turn that shit off?
We in the club. He's like, oh, they playing this.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But because I know certain things, it makes it harder for me to say, I'm going to listen to it.
That is true.
Like, you know what I mean? Knowing the story. Even though I love some of these songs and I'm going to listen to them.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you listen to Mystical?
Huh?
Do you listen to Mystical?
Tell you the truth.
I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't in a minute.
Shake your ass.
Yeah.
Watch yourself. Shake your ass. Show 'em what you're working with. Give me that thing.
He already kind of showed what he was about.
He already foreshadowed through his music.
Like, that was
Nigga,
that's pretty rough.
He was hella
got convicted
aggressive in
twice.
the song.
Nah, he was pretty rough. Like,
Give me that.
who comes in and say, I came with my dick in my hand?
Yeah, that
Fuck
sounds,
your ass. Be cool.
That's a very strong lyric to
that
come in.
sounds highly sexual.
Oh, wow. To come in? Hey, yo.
Hey, but no, I think though this is a conversation that I would love more people, more artists to be real about up and coming, and also our community, like share in the comments or even come. We do a live. Y'all can join us. Why? Because I want to know why there's this stigma of not the separation. Why can we? Yeah, even if you say he's evil, yes, he could be evil, but he could make good music.
I mean,
How many evil people make some great shit in this world?
a lot. It's called Amazon. It's called Walmart. It's called,
They've done great things for us, and they're fucking evil.
once again, a man can feed the world and go home and beat his wife. What type of man is he? You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Can do both.
Yeah, sometimes you're both.
So then you would say you're also a case by case on this when it comes to art versus the artist?
I feel like, yeah, it's case by case, or I even take it song by song. Again, artists, like if R. Kelly, like Step in the Name of Love, I don't see
That's a
anything
fair
wrong.
song.
It's a
Yeah,
fair
that's
song.
good.
I'm gonna rock with it.
Now,
I believe I can fly. I'm gonna rock with it.
what if these are all like illusions?
Like if I found out,
Like it already meant something else.
Yeah.
if I found out,
Like,
then
what if there's like a deep dark secret about every
found
R.
out-
Kelly song?
I found out, then there. How many of us rock with maybe a song, but you don't rock with the artist, or you rock with the artist, but you don't rock with a song? It's the same kind of concept. You don't have to like the artist to say, yo, that's a cool song. There's some songs that I'm just like, yo, I'm not a fan of this artist. But this song right here,
You like this
Fire.
one.
it's fire. And that's the same concept. You might not like a football team,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you can respect when Tom Brady throws that touchdown. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
facts.
You could be like, yo, I fucking hate the Bucks. But right now, that was beautiful spiral. That was a beautiful one-hand catch.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So we got to learn. And I know that's actually pacifying and making it much more less. But yes, he did some fucked up shit. A lot of these artists done some fucked up shit. And
Most
there's
of them.
probably more that we don't even know. Because what I didn't realize, which with the research I was doing, Fiesta was shot on Epstein's Island.
Wow.
So Jay-Z and all of them niggas. But that's another story.
Whoa.
another
that
story.
guy.
Y'all all in their hot. Y'all all in the
They
hot.
all in
I'm not
it.
saying that Jay-Z. I'm not saying that.
I
I'm
don't
not
think-
putting
nah,
that.
nah.
I'm just
Rock
saying.
Nation
But
gonna come after us.
it's just
I don't want no
funny
smoke.
though. We pick and choose certain things. And we gotta chill with that. If we're going all the way, let's go all the way. Pitchfork that shit. Take all of them down.
I don't think we can because it'll always come back to bite us because when you do that, eventually the mob is going to come for you and nobody wants the mob to come for them.
See, but the thing is, we're okay with sacrificing one for the masses, which is fine.
Yeah.
But how come it always has to be
Of a
one
certain
of ours?
community. Yeah, you're right. You're
Right? It
absolutely right.
always has to be one of ours.
Because I'm like,
Some of those other comedians, I've heard Bill Cosby is not the only one.
I'm
Of
sure.
course.
What the
Pilling
Quaaludes and
shorties and doing all roofing them and Quaaludes and all of that.
I'm sure.
But he was the one that had to take the fall because when you
He's-
get too big for whatever you're trying to do, R. Kelly was just
It was a. f-
Go ahead, go
Oh, no,
ahead.
I was gonna say it was a fever pitch, and also he was a toothless monster at that point at 80 something years old. Yeah.
I have a question. With all of these things going on, like in this certain kind of, I don't want to say it's just that community, but I feel like at that pinnacle of like life, do you feel like it's just because out of the feeling or necessity that they're bored and they want to obtain to a different high or something like that, that they, revel in this debauchery and immoral type behavior, like was like, well, I've done all that I could and I get bored, so I want to try this.
We talked about this earlier. I think, at least when it comes to the younger age girls, I think that there are some people out there, especially men, they have this weird obsession with like virginity and purity and sexual, youth, and they want to be able to take advantage of that. Or there's just this weird fucking idea that if you like you have to have sex with a virgin. Like, I think that's just
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's weird for me.
Yeah. Even back then, I always wondered. I was like, yo, how? Like, I get
Somebody could lie to you and say that they're a virgin.
No, I'm just saying, like, even you look at biblical times or even the other world's histories in the 13th, 14th century, even further back,
Yeah.
when you see certain things, you wonder how you can have such a physical attraction to
Somebody so young.
and you said it. It was like you said it's maybe to prolong gender because they
Sexual use.
die.
People didn't have a long lifespan back
Right.
then.
But also, I'm just like, all right, we draw this line, and I don't know how people can be attracted, but maybe it's something in the brain. I don't
It's
know.
something in the brain for sure.
Something.
Well, I think the reality is
Or
that
is it perversion?
I won't call it a perversion. Like, also, there's a difference between
That's not a perversion.
well, hold on. There's a difference between pedophilia and hebophilia.
What?
There's two different things. Pedophilia is a sexual attraction to children. hebephilia is a sexual attraction to people like that are of sexual, they've already been sexually developed, but they may not be considered an adult yet. So we're talking people like, maybe 14, 13 and up.
They might look older.
Exactly. So like you can be 14, but look like you're fucking 20.
Ah, yeah.
Like they're attracted to these women or children or these people are still sexually developed or they're developing. They don't have they've reached puberty or they're in puberty.
Exactly.
Pedophilia is a sexual attraction towards children who haven't reached that sort of sexual development. So there is a difference. I think that it's just that human history has now.
I'm sorry. I just still feel like a 14-year-old is still a child.
No, many people do.
13, 15 is still a child.
Have you ever been
24, 28-year-old man with that? Like, come on. That's still a child.
Have you ever been deceived?
Plenty of times. Because
I'm not saying you try to holler or anything, but you ever saw somebody
yes,
that's probably 16
They
and you
look
thought
like
they
they're
were
probably
older?
22, 20.
But you want to know the thing
So
is
I
that
get it. I get
it's
what you're
only
saying.
within the last 100 years or so, and I don't have any empirical evidence, but this is me, spitballing. But it's only
We'll
really
come back with some.
it's only really within the last 100 years or so that we've been able to sort of like let children be children.
Yeah.
When like in the year 1890, if you're freaking like 17 or 18, you ready to go.
You're an adult.
You an
That is
adult.
true.
You have to work.
The times
you
are
have to do
different.
everything. Yeah.
There's
You're
no
working at
child
13.
labor. There's no child labor laws. You could work, go work.
I think in the 1800s in the United States it was child labor.
Yeah, they were working since
But that's like in the
But
late
you mean
1800s,
like
early.
17, 16. Yeah, I got
That's
you.
what I'm saying. So
I'm
it's
following.
like the idea of children being children for a longer period is still a new thing in human history. So
That's true.
we're just now getting to the idea of, holy shit, like these are really kids. Like you're not even really fully developed human being until you're in your mid-20s.
Exactly.
Well, that is true.
Because your brain is still developing.
And you can
You see what I'm-
attest to this because I was reading some of these articles. I was wondering how a 14-year-old's in a club at that time.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
probably legal.
I always ask
That
that
was
question.
weird. I was
How,
like,
how
yo,
do they end up in those adult spaces?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, what? 14 in a club?
They're like, yo, she look good, and we'll give her a pass.
Yeah, continue, bro. I'm sorry.
So it's really just this, in my perspective, it's this idea that us as a society are now evolving to be able to create borders, or we're able to identify where on a spectrum as a child and where on a spectrum as an adult. But that's really a new thing,
It is.
So
It's
that's
recent.
yeah. So like you're looking at the 50s and the 60s, it's like yeah, but it was still like the spectrum was a little bit smaller. Whereas nowadays there's a complete distinction. It's like
But if we can go back in time for all these other things, we should.
Oh, no, they
be able to
still-
go back in time. And
if we could
rectify.
retroactively cancel the Cosby Show and everybody in. If we can retroactively cancel Bill Cosby, we can retroactively
Yeah.
cancel everybody else.
yeah,
That
definitely.
is true.
I stand by that.
I stand by that too. And you can hate the person, but don't have to hate the music. I still stand by that.
Me too.
Don't
you
have
can
to.
hate them. You can. People used to remember they were at one point when this thing came out with Michael Jackson. People was breaking
Yeah,
CDs,
burning albums and shit
burning
like that.
albums,
Stop it.
burning stuff.
Nah.
You burning your stuff. You
Right.
you bought that.
All these things, and now look at him. He's idolized still.
He will forever be.
He's immortal to some people.
I think it's also, and it also shows a scary side to like human nature that they could be rocking with you all of this time and then they're at your jugular the next minute. And it's
That's how
like,
it
you
goes.
don't even know the full story or the facts.
Oh yeah,
Everyone's
It's
only
like
as
Kendrick
loyal
said,
as their
when the
last
shit
meal.
hits a fan, are you still gonna be there?
right.
You know, and they're quick to turn and throw you to the wolves.
Yeah,
Get a man out first.
There's plenty of people that'll cancel Kendrick if he talked about his political views.
Yeah, yeah. I remember, I only know the Bible well like that, but one minute they were saying Hosanna,
And then
here comes the King.
next day,
Next week it was
Hang him.
crucify that man,
Ready to behead him.
ready to kill him.
yep.
Yeah, you could be loved one week and hated the next.
Mhm.
It's just life.
You're never as great as they say you are. You're never as bad as they say
And
you
we
are.
can look at people and take it person by person, case by case, and be like, yo, you're an evil man, you're an evil man. You feel gratification doing what you did to little girls? That's evil.
Mhm.
Even if you have that in you, you know the rules. You know what's going on. You chose to step out and do your thing. Live by the consequences you do, and Hey, jail is jail.
Long story
You
short,
could have had all the girls you wanted. You see what I'm saying? All of them. But they
That's
choose
why I
what
feel
they
like
choose.
sometimes it's motivated out of the fact that, you're just bored and you had everything possible. So now it's like, oh, this is a new thing to conquer now.
Wow.
And then you don't know the lines between of like, yo, this is right and wrong. Like, oh, I don't care. I'm gonna do something pervasive.
all I was gonna say is, long story short, the only legitimate way to listen to Trapped in the Closet, it's through Prim's Hood Cinema. It's the only good way. it's the only fair way.
Wait, the Christians? No, I'm just joking.
Prim's Hood Cinema is the only good way to watch Trapped in the Closet now.
man.
Trapped in the Closet. I grab my Beretta.
That was actually a good series.
Yeah.
Nah, come on,
I love the Mad TV parody of it too.
come on, listen. If somebody put on Trapped in the Closet, you're gonna be like, nah, turn that off.
Yeah.
You really?
Maybe after 20, it started getting dumb.
Yeah, like they got the little
Yeah,
person and the
yeah.
old lady, and then it became a TV show.
It did?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't.
it became a sitcom.
Didn't it actually become like a drama? Like
I
Like
didn't
every
play?
every
Did it become
episode was
actual play?
Oh, I didn't
every
see that.
episode. Not I don't know about it. It could be a play, but like every episode was like still the whole same thing, singing and everything. But it's just
wow.
like it became a freaking like Medea parody type
Wow.
sitcom.
Wow.
You know,
Yo, love this conversation. We need to have more of this.
you say that every time, and we just keep having different conversations.
But we're
Right.
coming back to them.
who
Coming back.
who we coming back? Well, we got guests.
No, we're coming back and we're going to do part 2.
Part
Yeah.
2. What we gonna talk about in part 2?
Yeah.
That you're trapped in the closet.
Yeah.
Oh, why you
Trapped in the closet.
why you
And
do
the
that, guy?
reason,
Why you do
no,
that, guy?
the reason is why I want to have part 2s and 3s sometimes.
Get some
is
people's.
Not even people. Sometimes our views change as we get older. What we might have said in episode 2, we don't stand by.
Because you're growing and
You're
evolving.
you're growing. So it's always good to come back and say, you know what, Dana, if you can't say I disagree with what I said back then, are you truly a man? If you can't if you can't say, yo, you know what, I was wrong here or I was right here.
I was right in everything I said.
You know, and just to tie it up, it's funny because they brought that same thing up for Kanye when he had the Sway in.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I was.
He was like, yeah,
Sway did have all the answers. Sway had all the answers.
I should have
Everyone.
had my own thing.
Right.
Sway
You
had
see?
all the answers. Sway had all the answers.
So it was a pleasure rocking with us. I just want to let you guys know that in life, sometimes you're going to make decisions and you got to learn to stand by it.
Mm.
Sometimes you're going to listen to things. You're going to play whatever you got to play. Hey, stand by that. Whatever you believe, though, you stand by that and deal with whatever the consequences come with that. Let's keep having dialogue. Let's keep having discussions. Let's make this community great again. Hi, my name is Micaiah. Will you join me? But before you go, like, comment, and subscribe.